May 22nd, 2019, my iPhone blew up on my mattress. For several reasons, I will not be buying Apple products anymore. I will include these reasons after briefly outlining the incident. Please subscribe to this channel as it is new, show some love and respect for this dedicated channel. There's nothing like beyond humanity. So basically, the phone started charging at about 1 p.m. on a Saturday. I left the house to swim for a couple hours, and at approximately 4:30 in the afternoon, I received this phone call from the apartment managing office that the water was leaking from my house. Apparently, there was serious water leakage that damaged the elevator, the apartment directly below, and the staircase. At first, I honestly thought that I must have left the shower turned on or something. I mean, that is pretty absurd coming from a very extremely organized person like me. At first, when I got home, I saw the phone had exploded on my mattress. And the water from the sprinkler had flooded the entire apartment. The floors were sunk under about a feet of water, and the walls were damaged. It was all wet. The TV, the microwave, the fridge, and every laptop, every TV that was connected to the power outlet had stopped working. It was because of all the water damage and the extensive water damage that resulted in, these home appliances not working anymore. Here are some photos that I took of the incident as I got into the house. And after a week that this happened, I looked into the flooring and repasting the walls and everything. Just interior design and everything. And the minimal costs that averaged from 3 different resellers was about $18,000. It's crazy if you ask me, because that resulted from one phone explosion. So here is the actual approximate date. Yes, here is. So basically, there was about $5,000 worth of electronics repair costs and replacement costs, obviously. And it's funny enough because I was using the 2018 model of the MacBook Air with the new designed Retina display. I was actually liking it for about 3 months, local and daily usage. And that laptop was actually right next to the phone and exploded, and it just stopped working. It broke completely. And I told Apple that was that main computer that I was using, and they did nothing to replace the computer. They only promised to replace the iPhone 6s with the same model, which up to this day, they have not replaced yet. So as an avid Apple customer, I am entirely dissatisfied with this service, and after this case had continued for more than 2-3 months. Also, there were 2012 a MacBook Air that I was using for backup, as well as a 2014 iPad Air that was on the floor at the time, and it was all, water damage, and it stopped working. So continuing this case with Apple Korea immediately, I then received a response that I will be reimbursed, for the phone after I send it in for examination, but I didn't really trust Apple to do a non-biased examination. So I first sent the exploded device, to the Korean Fire Department, where then they sent it to one of the FBI actual, legal science teams that did an investigation on the product. And it was one of the government agencies that could be trusted with non-biased results. And after about 2 weeks, they came out with the result. Sorry for that. They came out with the result saying
that the iPhone explosion must have, it must have been due to an overcharging system with the adapters that I was using, which were not official Apple products. And this is the verdict. This is the verdict that Apple gave me, is that since I was not using official Apple chargers in Korea at the time, that I was responsible for causing the fire and the explosion and all the resultant extensive damages to the apartment. Now, to this day, the damages sum up to be roughly about $28,000 only for the flooring and the ceiling for both apartments 904 and 804, as well as the $5,000 for all the electronics, and that's around $33,000 in total summation up to this date. Okay, so given that, there was also extensive damage done to the apartment elevator, and it was a 20 stories apartment, so people had to walk down the stairs for like a lot for weeks. I think about it took like a week to repair the elevator. And so I've my aunt who works at IBM as a lawyer right now, and I gave her this case, and she told me that it may be hard to actually get reimbursement from Apple given all these legal allegations pertaining to this device and the charging system. But I also found out that the charging system is actually vague at best, because of all the voltages of the watts that they use. So basically, to briefly explain this to a non-tech savvy student or person, or someone who is not really science oriented at all, I really want to talk about this in layman's terms. Basically, there's a charger that is sold from Apple, and it's the official charger. And that charger uses the 1.1 watt system, which carries a 5 voltage output. And just correct me if I'm wrong at any point of this following dialect, because I'm not really like memorizing all the numbers specifically, but I know that there are multiples of evidence that show what I'm about to say. So it's not really important if I get it right or wrong, like specifically to the dot. Okay. Now, that being said, the Apple chargers that explicitly use the 1.1 watt system are designed for Apple products such as the iPhone. And I made the mistake of using non-official Apple chargers, which utilize a 2.3 watt voltage system, and the total electrical output that comes from those chargers are different because it's the watt multiplied by the voltage. So basically, the official ones that use 1.1 times 5 result in a resultant output of 5.5, whereas the non-Apple chargers that utilize a 2.2 watt and 5 voltage system sums up to an output of 2.2 times 5, which is about 11 electrical current. So basically, with this being said, the fire department came up with this conclusion that it was estimated to be the cause of the fire, that the overcharging system of the 2.2 watt system may have caused the iPhone to overheat and then create an explosion. With those lithium batteries, explosions are there. They do exist with lithium batteries, and that is one of the major flaws of lithium batteries, that they are, vulnerable to fire and pressure, right? So, I mean, this thing happened, right? So like we can't really reverse it now. I mean, it already happened. So there's nothing we can do about it. We can't reverse it in time and go back and not charge the phone. I was gonna use it that day. So basically, Apple concluded after 2 month, expert examination, when they sent the device back to Cupertino, that the device was not really flawed, but it was the customer's responsibility for using a non-Apple charger. Therefore, Apple will not be paying any financial burden or reward to reimburse this situation. And up to this date, $33,000 in real estate damage is just too much to bear for one single $450 iPhone, that I'd been using for just calls and texts. I wasn't doing anything crazy with it. I was just messaging my friends and everything, as everyone does. And for that is the cost of using such a horrendously designed iPhone. Okay, I won't say horrendous because I really love Apple products, but just because Apple is actually not responding to any of my reimbursed statements, I will not be using Apple products anymore. I will not be buying from the Apple Store anymore because I fear that this may happen again. And to be honest with you right now, I feel very angry at Apple and I want to just trash Apple entirely. And I have actually bought out of my own pocket a new laptop that I could work with for video making purposes, for essay writing purposes, and blogging. So I bought the LG laptop that I might be reviewing in the future, but in total summation, in conclusion, I feel like I've been wronged by Apple, that Apple hasn't really taken the full responsibility for meeting customer satisfaction regards. And I want to say that Apple has actually become a profit-making, profit-pursuing company rather than the solid go-to high-quality, high-standard premium laptops. They have now degraded to a version of a large money-making conglomerate that doesn't really give a shit about its customers. So that's that. There's that. If you liked this video, then thumbs up. If you didn't really like this video, then please leave a comment so that I can make better videos in the future. And please do subscribe to this channel as I will be uploading more videos now that I actually have a solid laptop. One thing that I want to really point out to you, one last thing, is that this entire event, this entire situation has really raised up my concerns for buyers that are out there looking for new products to buy. And I seriously recommend to advise people to stay away from Apple right now. Steve Jobs has left the company. He's dead. Rest in peace. He was an amazing innovator. He was the iconic, master. Now that he's gone, there's really no one at the company who really cares for the customers anymore. And they make these really bad keyboards, and they have very outdated specs right now for MacBook lines, and they're overpriced for a premium that we used to pay for the high quality, the build quality, and the unibody aluminum, the body texture. It was sleek, it was performance, everything was perfect. In 2019, I don't think MacBooks or Apple products are perfect anymore. So I'm trying to stay away from that. As a personal opinion, I don't want to stir up any online debates between Apple versus Windows. It's a very ancient debate that has been going on for centuries. Just kidding, decades. Anyways, I'm glad to actually say that I'm out of the Apple ecosystem now, and I am not regretting it. I will be pursuing future videos like this, so please stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching this video. I want to really make a shout out to Rutgers students who are watching this video, because this is one of the Rutgers university affiliated videos that I'll be making with the hashtags. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.